All right, Larry Krueger here at Levi's on a Friday for the Pig and a Pickle Krug Show. Check out Pig and a Pickle, 2 locations, Emeryville and Corte Madera. They're open 7 days a week from 11 a.m. till 8 p.m. or until they run out, and they do run out. So get there early, get some brisket chili. Tell them Krug sent you. We're going to do a meet and greet during the bye week, Sunday, December the 7th at Pig and a Pickle. So join us there. We'll put out more notices between now and then, but join us at Pig and a Pickle on December 7th for the Krug Show meet and greet, and we'll eat some barbecue and watch some football during the bye week at Pig and a Pickle. All right, let's talk a little bit about what we learned today in 49er land as the Niners are getting ready to take on the Rams. Now, as far as practice went today, D. Winters was back, CMC was back, Trent Williams practiced, Tatum Bethune, Keon White, Kalia Davis, they all practiced. We talked to Shanahan after practice. He said Ricky Pearsall is out, so Ricky Pearsall will not play in this game. Purdy, Brendel, Barch, Collins, Keon White, Kalia Davis, the rest of the guys are all questionable. Mac Jones is going to start at quarterback. Purdy, they haven't decided yet whether or not to make him active or not. They can either make him active and he'd be the number 2, or they can make him inactive and then Adrian Martinez would be the number 2 quarterback. The Pearsall thing is just a tough thing because the Niners can't get him back out there. He's just not quite 100%. And at receiver and at corner, you got to be 100% to be back out on the field. For Collins, he's got a bunch of injuries. He's got a hip, he's got a knee, he's got a shoulder, he's got like 5 different injuries. Jake Brendel with the hamstring is likely to return versus the Rams. He's played 450 snaps, 0 sacks allowed, 9 pressures allowed. Matt Hennessy had been starting at center thus far. Now the Rams are going to go with Harrison Mavis as their kicker. He's known as the thicker kicker. Joshua Carty, the former Stanford kicker, has 8 missed field goals this year. That's the most in the NFL. Now the Rams are not cutting Carty, but they are going to Mavis for this game. Puka Nakua's got a injury as well, but he is going to go. I don't think Jordan Whittington is going to wind up playing. He's probably going to be out with the Rams. He's got a back injury. And Darius Williams with a shoulder injury, I think, is probably going to go, but I think it's questionable for him. As far as Brock Purdy, they say he's getting closer to returning, but they would only commit. Shanahan will only commit to the fact that he's pretty confident that Purdy will return at some point this year. The Rams are 4.5-point favorites. Troy Clarity and Tim Ryan will be on the call on the radio side. Tom Brady and Kevin Burkhardt will be on the call for Fox. We should also tell you these 49er practice reports are brought to you by our friends at Plank. That's right, our friends at Plank. It's a brand new 50,000 square foot entertainment eatery at Jack London Square in Oakland. Plank just opened the Hub, a brand new sports viewing space with a massive 30-foot media wall and over 70 TVs. It's the ultimate spot to watch every game, enjoy great food, specialty cocktails, and just a lot of cool stuff. Bocce, bowling. They've got 12 lanes of bowling, arcade games. Right now, Krug Show listeners get 15% off bowling, games, food, and non-alcoholic drinks through November the 30th. Just mention Krug sent me when you go there. It's also the perfect place to host your holiday party this year, whether it's for friends, family, or your team at work. So check them out, plankoakland.com. That's the website, plankoakland.com. All right, let's talk a little bit more about this matchup. Christian McCaffrey has 100 scrimmage yards in 8 of the last 9 games. So he is going to be a huge factor, you would think, in this game for the 49ers. He also has a milestone coming up. CMC only needs 17 more rushing yards to reach 7,000 for his NFL career. CMC also has 5,000 receiving yards. The only players in NFL history that have 5,000 receiving yards and 7,000 rushing yards are Marshall Faulk, Marcus Allen, and Tiki Barber. So to say that Christian's on the verge of joining a very select group of players doesn't really even speak to it. One of the interesting things in Rams 49ers 1 back in week 5, the first matchup, was that it was the 8th game between the Niners and the Rams that has, since Shanahan and McVay have been coaching, that have been decided by 3 points or less. That's tied for third most of any matchup, any head coaching matchup in NFL history. So, man, one thing you can say for sure, when the Niners get together with the Rams, It's going to be a battle. It's going to be physical, and it is going to be close. I mean, I think history tells us that across the board. All of these games between the Niners and the Rams are all really, really close games. Mac Jones leads all NFL quarterbacks in passing value to the middle of the field. This is another thing, kind of the game within the game. This is based on the DYAR metrics. But LA is 7th in defensive DVOA on passes to the middle of the field. So can the Rams take away the middle of the field, or is Mac Jones going to feast again in the middle of the field? I think that could be one of the determining factors in this game. Who owns the middle of the field? The Rams are 4-1 against the spread against the 49ers since 2023. So they've had the upper hand as far as the betting matchup in this thing. George Seifert, Mike Holmgren, and Mike Shanahan, 3 ex-49er coaches, are among the 9 semifinalists for the coaching category for the NFL Hall of Fame class of 2026. I asked Shanahan today what it would mean to his family, what it would mean to him, his dad, him and his dad, if his dad made the Hall of Fame. And he's like, man, it means a lot. It means a lot. And I asked him, does your dad talk about it much? He's like, he doesn't, but the whole family does. And they really want him in there badly, and that's something I think Niner fans ought to be rooting for, Mike Shanahan, to make the Hall of Fame. We should also tell you that this 49er football season is presented by Sleeper, the fastest growing fantasy platform in the world. It's a one-stop shop. You get blazing fast news, real-time stats, group chat, season-long leagues, and of course Sleeper picks for daily fantasy. Use promo code Larry and Sleeper will match your first deposit up to $100. Links in the description. Terms and conditions apply. All right, couple last notes. Let's talk about some keys to this game for the 49ers. We talked a little bit about this yesterday, but as we get closer, I think the game comes into focus a little clearer. These are very physical games. The Niners and the Rams play very physical football games, always hard-hitting games. Ice bag type games. 49ers last matchup in week 5 ran it 33 times, and they only made 2.2 yards per carry. But Shanahan stayed with the running attack. And I think it's going to be a lot of the same here. Now, the Niners have been running the ball more efficiently in the last 3 or 4 weeks than they had when they met the Rams in week 5. Kittle's back, CMC's in better rhythm, Brian Robinson's in a rhythm. The Niners are running it more successfully now. Can that trend continue? The 49ers have to get positive yards on first and second down. The Rams haven't given up a third down conversion of 3rd and 12 or longer all year. You get to 3rd and 12 and you're not going to convert against them. This is week 10. And in 9 games so far, they have not, or 8 games, they have not given up a 3rd and 12 first down. So you can't fall behind the sticks. You can't get to 3rd and 10. You can't get to 3rd and 15. You can't get to 3rd and 20. You're not going to be able to live that way. So avoiding negative plays on first and second down, I think, is absolutely the key on offense. The key on defense, I think, is going to be to play really aggressively and great awareness in zone. The Niners are going to play a lot of zone defense, and they're going to have to dial up some exotic pressures on the quarterback just to move Stafford off that spot. Can the Niners, while sending exotic pressures and mixing things up, can they be disciplined? Can they be in the right place at the right time on the defensive side of the ball? You got to get 11 guys to the football for sure. You got to play really aggressively and aware in zone. And I think maybe the key is you got to wrap up against Kyren Williams and Puka Nacua. You can't give those guys those yards after contact. They're both really, really good at piling up yards after contact. I think that's a major key in this game. And then I think the other major key for the 49ers is, you got to look to double Puka Nacua and single up everybody else, especially on 3rd downs. I mean, Stafford really wants to go to Puka. He's going to throw him a lot of passes. He's going to go to him even when he's covered. And I think you got to force him to go to Devontae. You got to force him to go to other guys. And also, how do the 49ers deal with, the Rams and their big people? The Rams have been using 13 personnel with 3 tight ends to get the run game going. I asked Robert Saleh about it. He said, I don't expect 13 personnel, but maybe a lot of 12 personnel with 2 tight ends. So how are the Niners in their base going to match up with the Rams when the Rams go big people? Can the Niners stop the Rams' rushing attack when they bring bigger people onto the field and play 12 or 13 personnel? So that's going to be kind of the game within the game as well. All right, that's going to do it for us. Thanks to Pig in a Pickle. Thanks to Sleeper. Thanks to Plank. Thanks to all of you for supporting The Krug Show on YouTube.